live. What's going on, everyone? Thank you all so much for tuning in at this time. Everybody that's here, I greatly appreciate it. Anybody watching this on the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Sorry, I know I'm a few minutes late. I was all caught up in that game. Man, the Timberwolves did everything in their power to blow that game. Like, they did everything in their power. They had that game. They were in control. Things were looking good, and they just blew it. But, hey, I think this is probably going to be one of those, like, long series, And look, at the end of the day, as long as the Celtics don't win and as long as Denver is eliminated, which we got one of the two, then we're in good shape, right? But I'd like to see the Minnesota Timberwolves kind of pull this out. Anthony Edwards, dude is special, but we'll see. Also, I think Minnesota matches up better against Boston. Although Luka and Kyrie, man, those two are special. And PJ Washington, man, that dude just keeps hitting like big shot after big shot after big shot. Like, he's like terrible all game. And then it's like clutch time and he's just like absolute money, which I think is really impressive. That's, got to give him credit. But anyway, just wanted to come hang out, do a live stream for, about an hour or so. Just talk Lakers, have some fun. It is my birthday. Thank you all for tuning in at this time. I am 33 years old now. So getting there. Hopefully this is to another 10 years and we're doing the YouTube thing. I love it. But anyway, again, I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. And let's get right into the chat, right? Let's not mess around. Let's get right into the chat. Oh, here we go. What's the word? Starting us off with $100 super chat. Well, thank you. Seriously, that is very, very kind of you. Seriously, I am very, very thankful. Damn, now I got to take 4 shots. Starting us off with a bait. I appreciate you. Seriously, thank you. Thank you so much. That is very kind of you. Very humbling. But hey, let's do it. All right. Man of my word, this is $25. Also, for the shot thing, I'm sure some of you see it on the bottom. We got some Elijah Craig. This is actually really good, smooth. Not sponsored, by the way. Just really good. What is it, bourbon? Whiskey. No, bourbon. Yeah, bourbon whiskey. But every $25 super chats doesn't have to be at once. It could be cumulative. So, 4 or 5 $5 super chats, whatever. But what's the word starting us off right? Let's go. Get the first one down. Cheers, my friend. Oh, there's one. Here's 2. Here's 3. And final one. Appreciate you. Cheers. Whew. 4. Put some hair on your chest. But seriously, what's the word? Thank you so much. That was very, very, very kind of you. I really do appreciate that. Starting this off right. All right, let's get into the chat, regular chat. Again, thank you very much. You're awesome. Happy birthday as it stands. Thank you for all you have done, all the latest updates. You have been killing it. And thank you for everything. You are awesome. Well, thank you, Kevin. Oh, you got more. And keep up the grind. Your work doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you. Seriously. Well, thank you. I say it all the time. I am very thankful, very blessed, to be in a position where, one, people even want to tune in, right? And I love it. Like, I've said it all the time. Like, to me, I wanted to create a channel for fans like myself where we could come together, just talk, explore different things, have fun, and I think, I believe we've done that. I do. I really genuinely believe that we've grown just quite the community here of just fans and fun, right? Because at the end of the day, like I always say, it's YouTube. It's not made to be taken that serious. It's not made to be this like complex thing. Keep it simple. It's fun and entertainment. So let's have fun, be entertained. Sorry, needed to wash the palate a minute. It's like sitting. But G-Man, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Happy birthday, bro. Here's to many more awesome years of fun in Lakers basketball. Facts. Again, appreciate you. Also, is there any more news about DeMar? People have been talking about him coming to LA, but I haven't seen anything. Nothing like new since the since he had that interview where he talked about like, hey, I wouldn't mind it. to me, DeMar DeRozan, it's one of those things like if it happens, I'd love it. If it happens, awesome. We'll talk about it. We'll celebrate it. But realistically, it's probably just going to be one of those things where, he goes, re-signs a big deal with Chicago. Chicago seems pretty determined. There also was a report that Chicago doesn't want to mess with, doesn't want to mess up Jordan's legacy. Was kind of like this sentiment that Chicago doesn't want to make any trades that would, better benefit LeBron, which I think is silly, right? Like if you're that concerned about Jordan's legacy, right? Like then it's probably not that unobtainable, right? And like I've always said, like with the whole Jordan thing, like people either believe it or they don't. Like you're not going to change the minds of the people that believe like LeBron can win the next 5 championships and people will still have an argument for why Jordan's better. Right? It's an opinion-based thing. So I don't know how much I buy those reports, but supposedly, Daniel, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Blake, what's going on, Blake? How are you, Blake? Happy birthday, Gramps. Yeah, thanks. Betty shows up looking like some goofy yeah, look, backwards hat, t-shirts, plain. We celebrated my birthday. Today's my official birthday, but we celebrated my birthday like with the family. And then me and my girl, we went out yesterday because she had to work today. She couldn't get today off, but she was able to get yesterday off. So we celebrated it yesterday. So that's why I'm not like out living my best life. I already did that last night. So now today I was like, let me do a live stream. Let's hang out with everyone and have some fun. Damn, I should have took Mavs money line. I had the +5.5 at -110. Dude, again, Minnesota did everything in their power to lose that game. They were up pretty much start to finish, and Dallas just kept tacking away. So happy the McNuggets lost. Yeah, facts. Yo, what's going on, Daniel? Appreciate you being here. Happy birthday, man. It's mine too. Nice. NTA, happy birthday. Happy birthday. It's a best day of the year, right? Happy 85th birthday. No, just joke, Grips. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. I'm hoping I'm on YouTube at 85 years old. I'm hoping we have like 5 million subscribers and we're just this big conglomerate of a community. Blake. Hey, Blake. Timberwolves gift are the Nuggets got eliminated. Yeah, they did us a big solid. Salute. What's going on? Let's go. My birthday is tomorrow. Well, happy early birthday, Alfonso. Awesome. I love it. I love seeing all the birthdays. I turned 23 today. Nice. See, man, to be 23 again. But yeah, I turned 33. So 10 years ahead. I'm 10 years into the future. You're getting there. I got Mavs in 4. I don't know. I don't see the Mavs sweeping them, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Mavs win. I still think this is a long series and Minnesota pulls it out. I just think they got away from just tack the pay. Like you got the size advantage. Minnesota just was jacking up threes all game. It's like you have clear advantages on the basketball court. Like, why are you getting away from it? But what role players should we trade for? Role players? I want some defensive 3-and-D guys in particular. Like, can we trade for an Alex Caruso? I mean, you could go the center route. However, I just think go get a Valanciunas, go get an Andre Drummond. I don't think you need some star center. Now, if it's attacking, so I talked about Clint Capella, right? Like I said, I wouldn't trade for Clint Capella straight up, but if I feel like it's a little, I also don't want it to there we go. I also don't want to but if it was an add-on, right? If you say Atlanta's oh, we're trading for DeJounte Murray, and they're hey, we want you to take Clint Capella too, then I wouldn't mind it. Sure, bring it in. If it's an add-on rather than the main piece, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I turned 33 this year. What's the word? Nice. Welcome to 33 Club. Happy birthday, brother. Thank you, OG. Thank you. Blake, what's going on, Blake? Let's see. Happy birthday, brother, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Happy birthday, Tyler. Thanks for all the work you put in, keeping us informed, entertained during the offseason. I'm leaning towards trading for more depth versus third star method. First off, I appreciate that. Secondly, so to me, I don't mind it. should probably make like a video dedicated to that. But like I've mentioned like periodically in videos that like I wouldn't mind going the depth route, right? Like depending on how it is. Like my example is like, okay, you trust LeBron and Anthony Davis, right? You could even go get a DeJounte Murray. Yeah, like DeJounte and Anthony Davis as like your two main pieces are probably not enough to win a championship. But to me, it's like if you structure like just examples, right? Say we were to trade for DeJounte Murray, and then you went and got like an Alex Caruso, and then whatever, right? Like you go get a center, like maybe it's a Valanciunas or something like that, right? And like, let's say you go these next like 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is with LeBron, and you have like something like DeJounte Murray, Alex Caruso, Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis, right? And then LeBron ends up sailing off to sunset, and you have like DeJounte Murray, Alex Caruso, Jared Vanderbilt, Anthony Davis, right? Like, you don't think some star is going to be like, man, that squad, add me, let's go win a chip? I believe that they might. So to me, it's kind of like, do you just trust the Lakers brand and trust that, like, you know, if you build it, they will come, right? Like, so if you have this team that is just basically LeBron leaves and someone else swaps in, then I kind of feel like that might be a good course of action. However, there's always the question of like, how long does it take, right? Because when Kobe retired, it was what, two years, right? 3 years? 2 years. I think it was 2 years after Kobe retired before LeBron came, right? If I'm not mistaken, it was 2 years. So problem is, if it takes 2 years, Anthony Davis might already be phased out by the time you actually, I want to pull up the stream on my phone, might already be phased out by the time you actually get to where you want to get to. So I don't know, like that's a real question mark. I believe if the Lakers can get a star, they'll do it, right? Like whether we want them to or not, they'll do it, right? So if they can land a Donovan Mitchell, then they're gonna go get a Donovan Mitchell. If they could get a Trey Young, I think that they get a Trey Young. As much as it would be frustrating, I do think that that's probably the most likely scenario. But again, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Yeah, let's pull up. Let's do a little fun. Let's do one of these little polls. Here we go. Depth. Whoops. Depth or star. Let's see. Star. Depth. Perfect. Start poll. Boom. All right, now we got the poll up. So boom, there we go. Let's see what the consensus is. What's going on, Ryan? Appreciate you being here. Streaming turning Tyler into an alcoholic. Yeah, facts, right? Should right off the bat, just 4 shots. There you go. But no, I appreciate it. I really do. Ryan, thank you. I really appreciate that. One of these streams is going to have to be $25 Dr. Pepper shots so we can turn you into a diabetic as well. Just the perfect combination. Diabetes. Did you see what LeBron said on mine? See what LeBron said on Mind the Game. I'm assuming you Mind the Game about building a team. No, so like the latest episode, the episode that just came out, I started watching like a little bit of it, but I haven't finished it yet. I'm like, I don't know, 10 minutes in. I was planning on sitting and watching it and like editing and doing some work and stuff and kind of just listening to it in the background. But I ended up getting caught up and had to do some things. So I haven't yet, but I'll see it. Happy birthday. Thank you. Appreciate it, Evan. I know it's off topic, but do people who are sped have the right to make their own decisions when they 18? Wait, what? Off topic. But do people who are sped, I don't know what you're asking. I prefer Sam Cassell over JJ Redick. So like I get that. Like I don't mind. Like if Sam Cassell became the head coach, I think I'd be pumped. I like Sam Cassell. Right? I think he has a lot of potential. My logic, my thinking is like, okay, everybody that's available to be the Lakers head coach are all like gambles. So to me, it's like, which gamble would you rather have? So there was a report that came out that said the Lakers view JJ Redick as a potential Pat Riley, right? A guy like Pat Riley was an announcer on the PA system that became an assistant for a year and then became the head coach of the Lakers, right? So when was it? Like they fired, I think it was Westhead, and then Jerry Buss tried to make Jerry West the head coach, and Jerry West was like, nah, that ain't happening. So they were like, well, and he kind of stumbled into being the head coach. Kind of feels like that's that's kind of the direction in which they're looking. But again, I just like, to me, JJ Redick, I think, has the most upside. All right. So to me, it's like, if you're going to take a gamble, take the gamble, right? Like if there was somebody that was like a clear-cut option, then I'd be like, go get that clear-cut option. I just don't feel like there's anybody that's like a clear-cut option. But I just, again, like, I don't think there's any right or wrong answer. It's just, who would you rather take the gamble on? For you, you'd rather take the gamble on Sam Cassell, right? For me, I'd rather take the gamble on JJ Redick. But either way, I wouldn't hate it. What do you think about getting Yuta Watanabe and Bronny and Royce O'Neal and Donovan Mitchell? I would love to get that. You get some shooting, get a star on Donovan Mitchell. However, Watanabe is supposed to go, what is it, Japan? I think he's done with the NBA supposedly. So probably not getting him. Royce O'Neal, I would love to get. Talked a little about him this offseason. If you could snatch him away, that'd be nice. And then Donovan Mitchell, obviously. Bronny, I'm all for it. Like, I don't mind the Bronny. On Gil's Arena, they changed names worthy to saying LeBron is the GOAT. Happy birthday. Well, thank you, first off. And on Gil's Arena, they changed names worthy to saying LeBron is the GOAT. I've talked about, like, I think if you talk about just pure, like, basketball player, I think LeBron's the greatest to ever play the game. Happy birthday, bro. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Do you like DJ's fit is better than Trey, or you think because of his contract he is a better fit? I mean, I think so. Like DeJounte Murray now, I think would make the most, like, in the moment sense, because one, he's cheaper. Two, like, you can get other pieces. Three, I think as like the third guy, I think he would be easier to kind of mesh in. Long term, Trey Young makes the most sense, right? Trey makes the most sense, even more so than like Donovan Mitchell, right? Because now I would rather have Donovan Mitchell, right? If you told me today you could get one or the other pick, like, I would take Donovan Mitchell all day. However, for the longevity of the franchise, Trey is the guy that makes the most sense, right? If we didn't have LeBron James, I'd probably be pushing Trey more. I'd probably be like, hey, go get Trey Young, because him and Anthony Davis should make a very dynamic pairing. But it's just like, how does Trey fit alongside LeBron James? So to me, I just like, I think Trey long-term makes the most sense. I think everyone else kind of make more sense in the now. Just to me, depends on what do the Lakers want? Do they want that piece that raised the ceiling now and long-term? And the reason, like, Trey makes the most sense long-term, even like a Donovan Mitchell, because some people might look at it and go, well, Donovan Mitchell's still young enough to where him and Anthony Davis can basically be together 5 years. Yes, correct. But even after Anthony Davis, you'd have Trey, who, like, once Anthony Davis is ready to ride off in the sunset, he's 34 or whatever, Trey would still be on the right side of 30. So you could still have that star and build around him and still potentially be a contender even longer. So that's kind of the gist with Trey. Let's see. Don't care who the coach is, as long as we get a chip 18 before Akeem leaves. Yeah, I'd like to get that. Happy birthday. I respect you. Well, thank you. Seriously. I appreciate you, Goku. Goku, I respect you. Thank you for saving us all. Let's see. What can I do? People think I suck at basketball. Just keep practicing. Keep working hard. Work on your grain. It's just like anything else. Skill that can be taught. Right? You hone your craft. You work at your game. Happy birthday, bro. Appreciate you. Happy birthday. Thank you. I think LeBron can play the one for our team as long as we don't get a star playmaker, and then we can double bigs. It all LeBron would have to play defense on the perimeter. Thing is, LeBron doesn't want to be the point guard. Like, I know, like, because people point to the video where LeBron's like, I could play point guard, right? He wasn't speaking like full time. He was talking like in that moment, right? Like, hey, you're trying to experiment with this lineup. Like, we're experimenting here with all these different things. Like, I can play point guard. Like, you can give me the ball and I can do it. But like, to make him full time the point guard, LeBron just doesn't want to do it. It's why we keep trying to experiment with point guards. It's why we got Dennis Schroeder the first time. It's why we got Russell Westbrook first time. LeBron has talked about how he wants to play more off ball. He doesn't want to have the ball in his hands 24/7, even though that kind of just what continues to happen and continues to be the case. So, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. Time will tell. Not basketball related, but they apparently said next DBZ saga is the last for the franchise after the death of the creator. Really? Oh, man, I hope not. I hope that's not the case. I mean, if anything, wouldn't it make sense to keep it going for his, like, legacy? Like, although last time they tried to make a DBZ saga without Tory, like, it didn't do as great as the previous, so maybe. Get Zach Edey. Only player that can guard Wemby. I mean, Wemby, I'm so much worried about Jokic than I am Wemby, at least for now. Wemby might become a problem at some point, but I mean, he's excellent now. Don't get me wrong. Like, that kid's special this year. But like, I don't think San Antonio is going to be like this bona fide contender next year. I think they'll be patient, be a couple of years away. Jeffrey, I like your optimistic outlook on the Lakers. I've been following since beginning of the playoffs. Well, thank you, Jeffrey. First off, I appreciate it. Secondly, always, right? That's what you always get from me. You always get optimism. You always get hope, right? Because again, I say it all the time. Like, it's my team. I'm not going to root against my team. Like, I just don't understand why some people like to, like, it's like it feels like they're like rooting against the Lakers. And they're like, I'm a diehard fan, but the Lakers suck. Like, okay, like, again, you can have perspective, like, you can understand the situation that we're in, but like, just be like, like actively rooting against them. I don't know. I don't get it, right? Like, I am going to support this team through and through, right? Our worst days, our bad days, right? Our good days, right? Whatever it is. But I appreciate you. Yeah. Lakers might be cooked. I don't think so. I think Lakers will be fine. We'll see what they do, what the splash looks like this offseason. Hell no, let's go for the 3-star model. Look, it depends on who the star is, right? Like, I see a lot of people that say like, oh, 3-star models can't work. Like, why? Like, the last real, like, made sense 3-star model won a championship, right? Like, we've seen 3-star models win championships in like dominant fashion, right? I mean, even Golden State had a 4-star model and were unbeatable until basically the entire team fell apart, right? Like, 3-star models can work. It's just if the pieces fit. Like, I see a lot of people that point to like, we already tried that and didn't work. Like, you cannot compare Russell Westbrook to like a Donovan Mitchell. Like, Russell Westbrook was doomed to fail from the beginning, right? People also point to like the Phoenix Suns. Again, that was doomed to fail from the beginning. Right? Like, I came on here. I came on As It Stands Sports. I was making videos. I was doing everything, talking about as soon as they traded for Bradley Beal, that was the death sentence. That was it. Because you got 3 guys that are essentially the same player, just at different levels. And 2 of the guys play literally the same position and have the exact or very similar play styles. Right? But like, if you look at all the big 3s throughout history, right? Like, that have had success. They all play different positions. They all have different games. They all play different roles. So, you look at like Ray Allen was the 2. He didn't need the ball in his hands. He's off-ball threat, could shoot, right? Paul Pierce played the 3, right? Like, Kevin Garnett played the 4. Right? Like, they play different positions. LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh played different positions, had different skill sets, right? Complemented each other. You look at, the Cavs, Kyrie, Kevin Love, LeBron James, all played different skill sets. They all complement each other. Again, it just depends. And then, like, even like you look at Golden State, it's like Steph and Clay are probably the best off-ball players in the entire league, and they don't need the ball in their hands to be crazy. Like, Steph is probably a bigger threat off ball than he is on ball. Like, it's just so, again, it just, if you put the pieces, the right complementary pieces together, it can have success. If it's one of those things where you're just throwing out a bunch of like random, like they're just names on the back of the jersey, then no, you're not going to have the success. Right? If it's just names on the back of the jersey, it's not going to work. Oh yeah, Stans, the Lakers should hire you as their head coach. Well, thank you. You would know when to use timeouts, challenge play, unlike him. Yeah, I mean, look, I just want somebody that can just do the basics, right? Like, again, you gotta be able to manage the game. Look, I would love the opportunity. It would probably be a nightmare job, but I would gladly take it. Let's see. Brianna, happy birthday, bro. You deserve everything. I wish you all the best, bro. Well, thank you. Seriously, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much. Look, like I say, I'm very blessed. I really am. I got beautiful family, beautiful woman, beautiful kids, right? Got a new puppy. Got my health. Got wonderful community and YouTube channel. Like, what more could I ask for? I got everything I could want. Let's go heavy on Donovan Mitch. Do Golden State did in 2020-21 have a small 2-year rebuild period and recoup assets and compete again when LeBron leaves. Yeah, I mean, if they could get Donovan Mitchell, you get Donovan Mitchell. Call me crazy, but I think replacing Austin, Rui, and a backup center is all we need. Legit just need healthy, and have a coach who won't sabotage. Like, I think that there is an argument to be made of just like making some key upgrades and like kind of just running it back with a head coach. Even like the roster we have right now, like what does it look like with a competent head coach? Right? Like, I still definitely think we need upgrades. Like, there's clear holes and flaws on this roster. But even if you did, like if you told me worst case scenario, we're running it back with the new coach, I think that the Lakers would be much better, right? Assuming the coach actually knows what they're doing. But like, I definitely think if you can get some clear upgrades, the thing is that like the reason the Lakers even want to get that third star is because it's like, how much longer can LeBron play at this elite level? You know, he just made all NBA third team. Like, how long can he keep being, you know, a top 10 to 15 player in the league, right? Like, at some point you think there's going to be some type of decline. Okay, so then Anthony Davis is like Anthony Davis as like your sole super duper star, like your best player. Is that enough to win? Like, I think it's a combination of things. It's like, okay, we know LeBron's getting towards the end of his career. Like, obviously the Lakers want to win now, but they also want to position themselves for the future. Dollar, my birthday is today too. Not only do you got the best name ever, you got the best birthday ever. I love it, man. I think we're twins. I think that's what it is. We were separated at birth, both named Tyler, right? Same birthday. I think that's what it is. What's that twin song that's always on the radio now? I've seen that to you. Let's say LeBron did join the Warriors. As it stands, do you think some Laker fans would hate him for leaving? I mean, yeah, of course. There's always going to be like those camps where like some are, oh, F LeBron. I think a lot of people would be happy that he left because there's a lot of people that just don't like LeBron on the Lakers. So, you know, I think it'd be a mixed bag. I feel like you're going to use first round picks to get role players. Then you might as well get a star now because in 2 years we'll be in the same situation and don't want AD to ask out. Yeah, that's kind of the thought process too. It's like if you're gonna spend to go get 2 or 3 role guys, right? Like, is that much better of a situation than going and getting that third star? Which again, role guys can be inconsistent. Role guys, you know, at times can't show up. We've seen a lot of role guys that were perceived great, were looked at as like, oh man, this is a guy that's going to be a real piece, and then just too bright for the lights. So now you go and you trade all your assets to go get some role guys, and they just don't show up. Now you're stuck. Right now, you could potentially lose Anthony Davis, even if he's willing to stick around. Like, you know, like you don't have any assets to get it. I made an entire video about it, right? Like, the Lakers have like one shot here. Like you have one opportunity. You know, Q Lose Yourself by Eminem, right? Like it's just like that's what you got. Right. So it's like, do you really want to use your assets to go get a bunch of role guys that may or may not be the difference? Or would you rather go get that star that, yes, like even let's say you don't win right now with like that 3-star model, at least you have your 2 stars going forward post LeBron. And then now you can kind of piece the role players in the, because it's easier to get rotation guys than it is to get a star. So it's just, there's an argument to be made there. But let's see. Are we already starting the Lakers next season over? Start the rebuild chance. I just put my pitchfork away after hammering. Not yet, but we're getting there. Liam, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Should Lakers go after Josh Giddey since he might be available? I would. Can't really shoot. I mean, if he could get out of, I mean, look, he's a good young player, but he's clearly like mental is just, it wasn't the same this year. So, I mean, that's the question. Like, can he get back to like that promising guy that we saw? But personally, I don't like what it would cost to go get Josh Giddey. I just don't think it's worth it. And I don't think he's somebody that like fits this like dire need, right? I don't think his skill set is like, oh, this is somebody we like desperately need. I just think if you're going to use the assets to go get a Josh Giddey, you might as well go get a DeJounte Murray or something like that. Depth is fine, but you need correct depth. We need to go back to being a defensive team and elite skill. Our best player has is defense. Thank you so much, Lord. Appreciate you. Let's see. Do you think Frank Vogel, or do you kind of want Frank Vogel back? I kind of miss him. Personally, no. I was fine with his firing. I don't think he's a bad coach. I just don't think he's the right coach for this roster. I just think that, you need somebody that can challenge LeBron, that can challenge Anthony Davis. Like, what was the big problem? Is that Frank Vogel never told LeBron and AD nothing, right? He's not confrontational. He's very like passive, right? He doesn't like to, get into his players too much. Like, I like Frank Vogel, but I think you need to have a very specific team or a very specific staff around him, right? I don't think it's a coincidence that as soon as Jason Kidd left, he just started tanking as a head coach for the Lakers, because Jason Kidd was that guy that could challenge LeBron, could challenge Anthony Davis. I had a feeling they'd make a deep run because they made a move at the deadline, unlike the Lakers. Yeah, the Nuggets. I'd package D'Lo, Reeves, and Rui for role players. Yeah. Again, I mean, it depends on what the role players are. Andrew, also, I have a video posting about it tomorrow because I wanted to break it down. But Zach LaVine was hanging out with LeBron and Anthony Davis at the Clutch Pro-Am for Bronny. They were seen together. So, of course, everyone's running wild with that. But like I said, I'll go more in depth with it in a video, but I think it's funny. Let's see. Each one of the role players attached to first two each get Caruso, Dorian Finney-Smith, and maybe KCP. I wouldn't mind something like that. The thing is like, okay, so then is LeBron going to be okay playing point guard? Like, I mean, you think about it, like having like a Caruso, Dorian Finney-Smith, KCP, or I guess Caruso, KCP, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron, and AD would be tough. But LeBron would basically have to be your point guard. Like Alex Caruso could be your initiator, but like all the playmaking kind of stands on LeBron. And then a lot of talk about Chris Paul. So, coming, so you could maybe have that as your backup. It's about how the players fit. PJ and Gafford fit perfectly. Exactly. Yep, such a good fit with Kyrie and Doncic. Exactly what they needed. Yep. Defensive role players. Yes, got to go after defensive role players. Chaotic, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It makes our floor higher and margin for error bigger. Yeah. Let's see. On the podcast, LeBron said you need 1 or 2 stars and very good role players. Well, yeah, I mean, it's the model for how he won a championship, right? Like, it's how he's probably perceiving, like, hey, go structure this lineup going forward. Let's get back to the 2020 model. Like even a lot of people talk, Minnesota, right? Look at what Minnesota's doing. That's the Lakers model, right? It's the 2020 model. We should honestly just go for Zach LaVine and Caruso, give D'Lo a big 1-year deal. Just kind of use him to swap. Zach LaVine would probably be dirt cheap. We'll basically do what we should have done. All right. I don't like the role player idea because role players are naturally inconsistent. Some days they'll give you 20, and next give you 5. If you get a star, there's a level of consistency. Yeah. Again, it just comes down to the right star, right? If you get somebody that fits and makes sense and can gel and mesh with LeBron and Anthony Davis, then yeah, you go do that because again, the ceiling's higher. Right, you get more consistency. If Anthony Davis is having a bad game, you got 2 other guys that can take over that you can rely on and count on. If LeBron needs to kind of take the game off, right? Like and just kind of coast, right? You got 2 guys that can take over and do for you. If the Lakers get that 3rd star, chances are like LeBron will be the 3rd guy. I mean, he'll never be the 3rd guy, but like the idea is he'll be able to kind of coast, just kind of get through the season. He'll just kind of pick and choose his spots on when to score and how to score and whatnot. And you kind of have like your 2 guys that are dominating with some role guys. Unless they can sign Drummond and get Caruso, LaVine, and CP3. There was a report about CP3 coming. Drummond, I think, is looking at a vet minimum deal, so I think that's possible. In my opinion, whoever the Lakers is going to be the head coach staff, it will still depend on the system they are going to use. If they will not capitalize AD and LeBron's strengths and weaknesses. Well, yeah, I mean, of course, like you got to, if you're going to, whatever head coach we have has to understand the players, understand the system that he wants to implement, has to understand the skill sets of his key guys, like where's the best position to put them in. We aren't getting spotted, to be honest. I don't think we are. I mean, it's one of those things, like I love it. Like I said, I've said it from day one. The only way we get Donovan Mitchell is if Donovan Mitchell pulls an Anthony Davis, which Anthony Davis basically said, I'm not going anywhere else but the Lakers. You can trade for me. You can do whatever you want. I can't stop you from trading for me. But if you trade for me, just know I'm leaving in the offseason and I'm going to go to the Lakers. Right? So if Donovan Mitchell does that, right? Like, look, if the Knicks want Donovan Mitchell, the Knicks are going to land Donovan Mitchell. I don't really think the Knicks are going to want Donovan Mitchell. I don't think it makes sense for the Knicks to go get Donovan Mitchell. So I think personally, more likely than not, what's going to happen is if he's going to say like, oh, I'm open to these like 5 teams, and then the Lakers that's it, right? If Donovan Mitchell goes, send me to the Lakers, that's it. Doesn't matter what Dan Gilbert wants. Doesn't matter what anyone wants. He's going to be a Laker, right? But he has to push for it. I legit think replacing AR with Caruso makes us 10 times better. Well, I mean, because you're talking defense. Caruso shot like 43% from 3-point range. What is the one trade you wish the Lakers made back then? It can be from any year. What trade do I wish the Lakers? I mean, now you're talking like Charles Barkley back in the day, like when he was in his prime. I mean, you could. There's a million ways to answer that. Think of all the what ifs, like Chris Paul, teaming up with Kobe. That would have been pretty special. But I'll keep it like recent, like this past offseason. I wish that we would have done like the PJ Washington, Gafford deals. I mean, the question is like, would we have been able to get it for the same cost? It's always a possibility. In hindsight, there's the question of like, what would it look like if we had Mike Conley instead of D'Lo, right? I don't think like regular season wise, I don't know if we'd be better at all. But playoff wise, I think we'd be better. because he's just more consistent. He's not afraid of the moment. He can defense, all that stuff. I'm not even a fan of D'Lo, but the point guards on the market are so bad. Yeah, look, I've said it before. I wouldn't mind like if the Lakers traded for say Donovan Mitchell and then kept D'Lo, right? The thing is too is that like every time D'Lo had the most success was when he was allowed to be the point guard. But like Darvin Ham, once again, LeBron goes to the bench, he sits D'Lo, and then makes Austin Reeves the point guard. And we talked about it all season. Austin Reeves is not capable of being the point guard. He can initiate, he can make plays, he can do some of the things, but like when he's your sole playmaker and you're running units that don't have another playmaker, we saw what happened, right? We can't score. We're turning the ball over. He doesn't handle pressure well, all those things. And it's like you have your playmaker that thrives when he's a playmaker. Like every time he had his best games, it was when LeBron sat because he got to be the sole playmaker. Like that's not a coincidence, right? So to me, it's like, if they were to keep D'Lo and made him like, and you got, Donovan Mitchell or like even like a Zach LaVine or something, somebody that's not really like the playmaker, right? And you just let D'Lo be the playmaker, like I'd be fine with that. Becomes way more playable with Caruso. Yeah, like Caruso, something like that would be nice. Let's see. I like Trey more than DJ because his streaky shooting is clutch. Because when D'Lo went on crazy shooting spurts, we started streaking games together. And you hire JJ, he can be better off ball. Again, like Trey's the better player, and Trey again gives you the greatest upside, and Trey gives you the best option long term. If the Lakers traded for Trey, like if you told me tomorrow the Lakers trade for Trey, I will be happy. I'll be stoked. Like it would be very exciting because Trey is legit. I see people literally leaving comments that are like Trey Young's trash. Like, what are we talking about here? Right? I understand you might not like Trey. I understand, but to say he's basically this like garbage player is just not true. Is he inefficient at times? Yes, absolutely. Right. But he's one of, if not the best playmakers in the league. He's a guy that even on his bad nights are still going to give you 15 to 20. Right. And the reason like his percentages aren't great, like, is because like what you said, right? He's streaky. He'll go on like a 10-game stretch where the dude's absolutely lights out. And then on a stretch where he has a hard time buying a bucket. And it's just kind of averages out to what it averages out to. But even on his bad streaks, he's still really good, right? And like he's still a guy. Like if we had Trey, maybe not this postseason because he was dealing with the post surgery, so he just wasn't the same guy. But even then, I think you can make an argument like if you had Trey over like D'Lo and Reeves, we might have won that series, right? Because like even again, he still would have given you 15 a game like clockwork, right? Like. And people are like, oh, he doesn't play defense. Nobody does. Like, the only guys that play defense nowadays are, like, role players. Like, again, like, it's just – we're not in this – we're all five guys are basically lockdown defenders. Like, it's just – it's not what it is in today's NBA. Let's see. Rui played the same position as Braun. Yep. D'Lo has to opt in first. Yes. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate it. Austin, if he's our point guard, it's over. Yeah. He's not capable. Could he get there one day? Sure, but he's not there yet. Dev, happy birthday, man. I actually think we have a legit chance next season if we make the right roster tweaks, hire the right coach. Denver has issues coming up, and they're no juggernaut right now. Yeah, look, the Lakers are always going to be in it if they make the right plays. Again, like, because you're right, there's no team that's just like this. There's no way that, like, even Denver, it's not like Denver isn't so good. The Lakers have no chance of beating them. To me, it's like, I just feel like it's mental at this point, right? It's like every time the Lakers play Denver, our role guys just like D'Lo just becomes a completely different player. Like he just becomes like a shell of himself, right? I think a lot of it is just mental. Be not afraid, Tyler. The Forest Nymphs will save the Lakers. Good, wonderful. Have you seen what is it, Eurovision? Which is like, oh, the elves, they went too far. That's what that reminded me of. Not gonna lie, LeBron can't have best of both worlds. He want to win, but he don't want to do the dirty work. If coach put your foot down, you either got to play defense against teams, best wins, or you run the option. Oh, come on. Darn it. Hang on, give me a second. Lost my. Here we go. Like if this AD team goes all in and being AD's team, he don't want to play the 5. Don't ask him to do it again. He's been doing for the past years. He developed on defensive end, but you took away his offense. Again, it's not – I don't think it's so much LeBron not being able to buy it. Like we've seen LeBron essentially lock down defensively. He just can't. Like he said it in the podcast on Mind the Game. Like he literally said, I can't do it anymore. Right? Like he can't, like for a full game, 82 games, right? Can he do it for a moment? I mean, we saw, look at the Clippers game where he brought us back down 21 and locked down Kawhi Leonard, like literally clamped Kawhi up, right? Like he can do it for a stretch. He can buy in and do it, but he physically can't put it together for, 35 minutes a game, 82 games a season, or 65 games, or however many games he plays. It's probably not even that he doesn't want to, right? I mean, obviously LeBron wants to win. I think LeBron would do whatever it took to win. I just don't think he's capable of doing that anymore. Right? He's said as much, right? So, I mean, I don't think he'd say that just to say it, right? I think he can't do it no more. Best chance of somehow we get Mitchell. If we get Mitchell, good luck. The only thing that would deter us is just injuries. Like, can everyone stay healthy? But you get Donovan Mitchell again. Good luck. Let's see. Looks like he's given up since 2021 Phoenix series. I just don't think he has it anymore. And that Phoenix series, he was hurt. So like when AD went down, it was over. Nah, Bron checks out if he doesn't believe he was locked in the end season tournament. Thanks for doing this, Tyler. Even Lakers out of the scene right now. And yet, as a diehard Laker fan, I need to get updated offseason news. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, I'm very thankful that people even want to tune in and listen to me. So it's I love it. I absolutely love it. Let's see. I hate Dan Gilbert. He cried about the CP3 trade. I didn't see him crying when they went out on that run to get LeBron and Kyrie. Yeah, because it benefited him, right? Like, he wants to cry when it doesn't benefit him. But, like, I mean, he's a crybaby, period. Like, LeBron left, and what did he do? He threw a big old tantrum, wrote some stupid letter, and just threw a fit. He's a brat. Like, he is. He's a grown baby. Like, he's a grown man crying about, like, oh, LeBron left. Like, you're crying about another grown man and just, talking smack and talking about how, like, you're never going to do, like, it's just petty. It's just pettiness. But when LeBron came back, you were ready to get on your knees. Right? Like, when LeBron came back, you whatever you want, dude. You want my wife? Like, go ahead. Like, it's just crazy. Modern entertainment has taught me to expect the worst and be surprised by anything else. Yeah, it's usually a good model to live by. The right pieces is great shooting, LeBron, drive and kick, or a passed out the post chef kiss. Yeah. Happy birthday, sir. Well, thank you, Empire. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate you. Can we get Markin in? Can we? Probably. It just would take everything that we have. And I just don't think, like, he's good. I just don't think he's worth, like, all of our picks and assets. Right? Like, because they want, like, 4 firsts or something like that for Markkanen. Like, again, I like Markkanen a lot, but I just, like, he would make a lot of sense for the now. But again, like, I just think you're screwed for the future. Nobody talking about it, but Mitchell be hurt all the time. Yeah, but you also got to look at the circumstances. So I actually talked about this in a video the other day. Like, Donovan Mitchell won't, like, if he came to a team like the Lakers, he's not going to have to drop 50 a game. Right? Like, you look at Cleveland, like, he has to drop, he's dropping 50 and they're losing. Right? Like that's like if he drops 50 for the Lakers, you probably blow the team out. Right? He probably never even gets to 50 if he's playing alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Right? It's just your workload. Right? If you're having to bust your tail and just overexert yourself game in and game out just to keep your team afloat, it's a big difference than when you get to just be another guy, right? You get to just play your game rather than like, oh, I need to do everything. Who do you think wins the NBA championship this year? As long as it's not the Celtics. I mean, for being honest, the Celtics probably should. I mean, they're the best team left. They're going to walk to the finals. The Pacers just completely botched a real opportunity here, but like, it pains me, but it's probably going to be the Celtics. Like, if I had to bet on it, I'd probably bet on the Celtics. Like, but the Laker fan of me is like, F the Celtics. Let's go everybody else. Dallas. And I think putting a bunch of athletes and defenders around LeBron can save him the amount of energy, real rebounding, and dirty work stuff that a star would. Yeah. I mean, again, you put the right piece around him to where, like, if you can put enough around him to where he can coast and it's okay, you'll be fine. Not gonna lie, if you don't get a third star, you have the same questions next year off season. What do you do after LeBron? Yeah, and that's kind of why I think the Lakers are going to do it. Like I said, I think that there is a real argument of like, if you build it, they will come type thing. But I think like if you can get a star, you do it now. Just get it out of the way. Let's see. He's old. You can tell when he gives up and doesn't believe. What position do you think we should take with the 17th pick? Thing is that I would be shocked if the Lakers actually draft number 17. Like, I think they're trading that pick. But, I mean, you take the best player available, whatever position it is, guard, small forward. I mean, at 17, you're trying to hit on whoever's the best player available, right? Like, but I mean, obviously, like if, a Zach Edey's there, something like that, right? Somebody that's like a need. If you can get a position of, like, if it's like, this is a position, like, let's say there's somebody that you think is slightly better, but this guy is a position of need. Like, let's say Zach Edey. You're like, this guy might be a little better, but Zach Edey is, not too far off, but he's also a position of need. Then I think you go the position of need, right? If it's close, you take what you need more, right? But if it's kind of like, like if there's a clear cut, like this guy we just think is better than everyone else, then you take that guy, right? Like, let's see. LeBron got to go, but it ain't happening. I don't think LeBron has to leave. I just think you need to build a very specific team around him. The guys have great moments that can make their contract better. Gabe Vincent, great in the playoffs for the Heat. Ain't show up yet. I'd rather have a great season, not great moments. Yeah. Let's see. Game 3 of the Denver series, Brown gave up and locked back in game 4. He looked gassed. Let's see. LeBron wants Supermax when he isn't consistently carrying anymore. Yeah, but like, thing is, like, him getting a Supermax doesn't change anything. Like, again, he could play for like $20 million a year, and it still doesn't change our cap situation, right? Like, that's the problem. Is that, like, so you might as well just give it to him, because again, it's not about just it's about showing for the future. Same thing. Like, if we're being honest, right? Lakers should have never given Kobe a max during that last stint. There was no reason to. Like, from literally from like a logical standpoint, it made zero sense. But it's Kobe, and it's what he did for the organization. It was a thank you. It was a, hey, we appreciate you doing what you do. And it sent a signal to the next star, which turned out to be LeBron, right? Because it shows like, hey, you take care of us. You win here. You do what you're supposed to do as a star. We'll do whatever it takes to take care of you. So it's about, like, it doesn't affect anything, right? If it was something where it's like, man, if LeBron, instead of LeBron taking $60 million a year, if he took $30 million a year, we'd have like another max, right? Like, then sure, it's like, dude, LeBron, what are you doing, right? Like, let's go get that. But he could take $30 million a year, and it doesn't really change anything. Is the problem? So, Enrique coming out $25 super chat. Here we go, another shot. I appreciate you. I wasn't expecting to see you on my feed. Then I see it's your B-Day. Happy birthday, my guy. Let's take a B-Day shot. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that, first off. And secondly, this is your 5th super chat. Well, thank you. I think it's cool that it tells me that. But yeah, let's take this shot. Let me pour this up. Again, I really do appreciate that. Yeah, I celebrated my birthday like with my family and my girl and everything yesterday. Because my girl wasn't able to get today off. So like we just did it yesterday, but today's my actual birthday. So I was like, hey, I don't got anything going on today. Let's do a live stream. Let's hang out, celebrate, talk Lakers, have fun. So cheers, my friend down the hatch. Hit your chest. But I appreciate you, Enrique. Seriously, thank you. That was very nice of you, very kind of you. But yeah, so I just figured let's have some fun, right? Let's celebrate my birthday, talk some Lakers, have a live stream, have some fun. Now LaVine's knees is cooked. I don't know. Again, like, I mean, isn't the idea of the surgery was to fix it and correct everything? I mean, you definitely got to evaluate him. But it also goes into a lot of like the same things, you know, like Zach LaVine doesn't have to do as much, right? Especially if he's cheap. Like, Chicago just wants to get rid of LaVine. What if you don't have to trade any first to get LaVine? Right? Like, let's say Chicago's just like, hey, like because they just want to get rid of LaVine. They just need to get off of his money, and he doesn't want to be there. It's a mess right now with them. If they come, like if let's say we could get Trey, and it's going to cost everything, or we could get Zach LaVine and keep all of our picks. Right? I mean, obviously, you probably have to give something just to like make them feel like they win. But like, let's say Lakers have 5 seconds. Say they're like, hey, give us 2 seconds so we feel like we won, and then just match salaries. And we'll throw in Caruso, or maybe you throw in a first and you get Caruso. It's like, hey, we'll give you a first. We want Caruso. We'll also take Zach LaVine, and that has value in and of itself, right? Like if you could get Caruso and LaVine and only give up, say, 1 first, and now you still have 2 firsts, 2 or 3 pick swaps and 5 seconds, right? And then you still have like D'Angelo Russell, who you could just give a huge deal to, and then maybe use him to go get other complementary pieces. Like I almost feel like it's worth taking the flyer on, right? Like, because it's like, okay, well, we could get Trey or something like that, but it costs everything. I don't know. It just depends on like what is the ask and what else can you kind of persuade them, right? Like if you told me Chicago will give you Caruso and you only have to give up a first because you're doing them a favor for LaVine, like if you're telling me we could basically get back LaVine and Caruso for like Reeves, Rui, and like Gabe Vincent and whatever else, right? Like then to me it's like, okay, do that, and we'll live with it, right? And then just kind of make the decision, and then you always have picks and stuff to like change things if you needed to. I think it just sets you up for the future also. Again, it depends on what else is there. Give D'Lo 1 year jumbo deal, or that's something else, right? Like you could just like, I mean, you could just be like, because I think D'Lo the max he can make is like 36 million. I think is what his is. I might be a little wrong on that, but I know it's like 30, but let's say it's 36 million, right? Just to be safe. You could literally go like give him a 1 year jumbo deal and then trade him and like Jalen Hood-Schifino and like a second or two and go get Zach LaVine. And then you'd still have Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura. You'd literally have everything else in all your picks to go make up. Like you could still go get DeJounte Murray. You could still go get like other things. Like, and then like I said, if you get Caruso too, like throw in like a Gabe Vincent and like a first or something, and then go get Caruso and then go trade for DeJounte Murray and then like end up with like DeJounte Murray, Zach LaVine, Alex Caruso, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. Good luck. Good luck. Like, again, health would be the only factor. But again, everybody, I mean, you can make the argument about everybody. Like, again, somebody brought up earlier, Donovan Mitchell has not been a model of health lately. Trey Young is coming off his first major injury he's ever had, right? Like, again, so like it's one of those things. Let's see. We can. It doesn't have to be Depp or DeJounte. There's no one else here. DeRozan and Murray, is that possible? Or Trey alone and then get KCP and a big? If I could get DeJounte Murray and DeRozan, I'd probably get DeJounte Murray and DeRozan, if I'm being honest. Because you could still go get that. You could still go sign like an Andre Drummond, and there's your big, right? And you'd still have like you wouldn't have your full mid-level, but you'd have your taxpayer mid-level. So you could still go get, you wouldn't be able to get a KCP, but you may be able to get like could you convince like a Royce O'Neal to come or something like that? Is DeRozan and Murray possible? Yes. Is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? No. Because the only way the Lakers can get DeRozan is via sign and trade, which would hard cap us. So you'd have to get DeRozan for a reasonable price. You're swapping salary, so it's not that big of a deal, but it limits you on what changes and upgrades you can make. But yeah, technically you can. I still think the Lakers are going to land Trey Young. Again, I don't know this for a fact. I haven't been told nothing. Just a guy, just a fan. But I just like everything is pointing to like Trey is going to be a Laker. And I think that they're going to pull that off. And I know people are like, he left clutch. Like the Lakers don't care about that. Like LeBron might care a little bit, but supposedly LeBron's not even in any of the like he doesn't want to get his hands dirty. Okay, so then Lakers are going to do what's best. If they can get Trey for a reasonable price, they're going to get Trey for their price. If you go get Murray, you can still get other role players and then keep him when LeBron leaves. Yeah. Well, that's what I was talking about earlier. Is like you could do the like if you build a team that's like perfect for like that other star, and then when LeBron leaves, now you are in a position to go get that other star. Yeah, again, it's like if you build it, they will come type thing. Question is like how long would it take? Because you'd need a new star immediately, right? Between Kobe and LeBron, I was saying it earlier, I think it was like 2 years, like from when Kobe actually retired to when LeBron came, I think it was like 2 years, right? So it's like, I don't see, like if that's what happens again, like LeBron retires and it's like 2 years before you get another star, now you're in trouble. Let's see. Murray with KCP would be nice. Yeah, for KCP, Murray, KCP, and Dorian Finney-Smith, 100%. I mean, even if you can't get KCP, even if you just got like a Royce, like if we got DeJounte Murray, Royce O'Neal, and Dorian Finney-Smith alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis, right? Like, especially if DeJounte Murray can get back to being that like all defensive guy again, whoo, good luck. Yes, thank you, Bluckup. Yeah, if you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Help me out. Murray, KCP, Dorian Finney-Smith, Braun, 80 with Drummond, CP3 Wood, and like Prince. I could see Prince sticking around. What about AC and Monk? I wouldn't mind that. Problem is like I don't really see a path to getting Malik Monk because he's probably going to get 18 to 20 million, and the Lakers at most could give him like 13 million. KCP makes 15 million. Yes, he does. Which, again, Lakers could get to the full mid-level. Like, would KCP take a $2 million discount to come back to the Lakers? I think he would. He never wanted to leave the Lakers. I know the fans, like, he's not very happy with the fans, but it has nothing to do with him wanting to be a Laker. Murray, 22 to 24 million. I think he's making like 24.5 million this year, something like that. Need to surround 80 and LeBron with speedy, solid defensive players. Agreed. But again, that's easier said than done. It's not an easy task. Not an easy task at all. Let's see. KCP and Vando with them would be just beautiful. As it stands, if JJ Redick was like a veteran head coach, would you want him more than ever? Well, yeah. I mean, if he had experience and he was a good head coach, then yeah, I'd sign him up. I still want him because I still think, again, the upside I think is very I just think he has the best upside potential, personally. But I don't know. Like I said, we'll see. We'll see. Ghost coming out, $10 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Ghost. And it's your first super chat. Thank you. Seriously. Well, thank you for the first one. I appreciate that. Just a little something for your birthday. Don't spend it all in one place. Well, thank you. That's very kind of you, first off. And I'll try not to. I'll do my absolute best. I appreciate it. And we got $10 towards the pot for the next shot, which, again, thank you, Ghost. It's very kind of you. Seriously. I appreciate you. Thank you. And then Soren. I hope I said that name right. Again, another first timer with super chat. Thank you so much. Happy birthday. Keep on the grind off season. Is Trey Young the most likely outcome? How does that play out? First off, thank you so much. Again, appreciate the super chat. Ghost, Soren, thank you. Again, I hope I'm saying your name correctly, but again, appreciate you too. And then as for Trey Young, personally, this is just my personal thought. I think Trey's the most likely outcome. It just kind of feels like everything's kind of pointing to like, hey, Trey's going to end up being a Laker, right? I just think like there's just been a ton of smoke. I mean, you've had guys like Kendrick Perkins say on national television that Trey Young himself talked about him going to the Lakers. Like, I just feel like you're hearing the reports about Donovan Mitchell, and it's like, the Cavs will trade him anywhere else but the Lakers have to. I just think what's going to happen is Atlanta's going to go, okay, let's move off Trey. Lakers are going to trade whatever they have to trade to go get Trey, and the Lakers are going to end up with Trey. So the way that plays out is you basically trade Rui, Reeves, Gabe Vincent. I think that's 13, 17 is 30, it's 41. And then you throw in like Jalen Hood-Schifino or something like that. And then there you go. There's Trey. Lakers probably are going to give D'Lo an inflated 1-year contract. So it's an expiring deal. So then they could trade him and get some depth. And then I think you'll have something like Trey Young, Royce O'Neal, let's say, whatever. Some type of 3-and-D 2 guard. Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. They'll probably go get like a Chris Paul off the bet for the point guard. You'll have Christian Wood, probably Taurean Prince, Max Christie, and that's more likely than not how it plays out. Is probably my guess is that they'll go end up landing Trey if D'Lo's willing to because D'Lo he's gonna want to get paid, right? If the Lakers are like, hey, we'll give you $30 million this year. I don't see him being like, nah, I'm not going to take that, right? When the most, like a team like Orlando will give him like 20. It's like, dude, we'll give you 10 extra million. And then now they have that asset to go trade to go get it. So if I had to bet on it, right? Like if I had to give you like, what do I think is most likely to happen? I think the Lakers land Trey Young. Again, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. It happens, but that's my guess. But again, I appreciate you. Thank you, Ghost. Thank you, Surin. And $5 away from the next shot. So $5 more and I'll take another shot. I would kind of like nudge it a little early, but I'm already like, 5 shots in? So, and then Ghost said, happy to support when I can. Love the channel. It's good community we have here. Yes, Ghost, 100%. It is, first off, thank you. I really do. All the support, even just hanging out with me and liking the video, being subscribed, watching my videos, all that stuff. Very thankful for all that. But yeah, I was actually talking about it earlier. I think we have an amazing community here, like genuinely. Like I think like what we're building here with the groups of people that are just fans having fun. Like I said, it's what I want, right? I want a community where we can just come, have fun, be ourselves, talk Lakers, explore different trades, explore different possibilities. I know it's not for everybody. I know some people get tired of like Lakers with this, that, and the other. But again, at the end of the day, it's YouTube. It's entertainment. It's fun. Right? Like, so let's have fun. Let's be entertained. Let's talk about stuff, like the sports stuff. But again, I appreciate you guys. Let's see. Trey makes 46 to 50 million. I think he makes 45 and some change this year. Happy birthday, bro. Well, thank you. Seriously, I appreciate it. I'd sign Dwight too. Personally, I'd stay away from Dwight. Personally. I don't like Trey. I'd prefer Kyrie and his flat earth borderline bipolar. It's a dead in every direction, to be honest. Yeah. Reeves and Hachi for Mitchell or Trey. If I could choose, I would take Mitchell all day, every day, including Sunday. Like, to me, Mitchell is a no-brainer. Like, he's the better fit. It's just, to me, he's wholeheartedly the no-brainer. I would basically give up whatever they wanted to do to land Donovan Mitchell. New problems pop up when we fix the ones we have. That's usually how it goes, right? You think you got it right, and then all of a sudden it's like, uh-oh. Right? I don't think they would do it, but would be a good deal for us, yeah. I'll take Kai, yeah. Oh, I wish. Just watching him torch everybody, just like, oh, man, get CP3 on a vet minimum. Yes, I'm with it. Washington has been a good trade partner for us. We need to get guys from them. The problem is they don't really have much left. They basically got rid of their key guys. Safest bet for you to go get two bigs against Denver so we don't get beat up on the glass, and especially since we're hiring a first-year head coach, most likely something simple. Yeah, bro, they balled out and AD played equal to Jokic that series, yeah. Buck, I see your comment. I just don't know if I should put it on screen or not. Turn D'Lo, Gabe, Reddish, Shafino, and our 3 picks into Murray and Caruso somehow, sign and trade Drummond or Jonas. Well, you don't have to, or never mind, just sign one of those two. Thing is, Reddish, we don't even know if he's going to stick around. Like, he'd have to stick around because he has a player option, if I'm not mistaken, right? We have enough, I believe, man. We were up at half every game. I think if you had a different coach that actually understood some of the fundamentals and how to better utilize guys, I think that series could have been very different. But like I said it earlier, like, if you told me worst case scenario we run it back with a new coach, I wouldn't be against it. I wouldn't hate it. Like, it wouldn't be my favorite thing, but I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't be like, oh no, all hope is lost. I'd be like, all right, let's go get it. Imagine playing Denver, then Minnesota, then Dallas, then Boston. Yeah, just running through the gauntlet, which I would have been all for. Because again, if you win, what is anyone going to say? Sorry, trying to find something. Let me real quick. What coach do you prefer? Lou hasn't signed an extension yet. If Lou were to become available and the Lakers could actually land Lou, then yeah, to me, that's a no-brainer. I just don't see it. I think the Clippers are going to end up, like, I don't think it's a coincidence. As soon as the Lakers wanted Ty Lue, all of a sudden, immediately, the Clippers are like, no, we want to give him an extension, blah, 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 blah. Like, I think he's going to get paid. Happy birthday. Who you think wins the NBA championship? Well, thank you. First off, thank you for the happy birthday. Secondly, like I said, if I had to bet on it, as much as it pains me, I think it's the Celtics. I mean, the Celtics should win. Again, they're one of those teams I just don't believe in until you prove to me otherwise. Like, every year they're the best team. Every year that they should do it. And every year they end up crumbling at some point. But, I mean, they have the best team. They have the easiest path. They're going to probably walk to the finals unscathed. It's just, and they're doing this all without Porzingis, who is arguably their second most important player. Michael, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Happy birthday. Hope you had a good day today. I did, absolutely. Like I said, I celebrated it more yesterday, like with my family and everybody, and then me and my girl went out because she had to work today. So it's kind of why I was like, oh, let me go do a live stream. Let's go have fun. Allergy turn, bro. 33. I am 33 today. 33 years young. After that Gilbert rant, happy birthday, my man, 21, right? I wish I was 21 again. In another life. Happy B-Day, bro. Thank you. Seriously. Take a sales 80, etc. Yeah. Agreed. If I was doing the LaVine trade, I would give me Caruso. You literally would have to, because no one else wants that $40 million. Well, that's my thought process, right? Like, again, you probably don't have to sell the farm. You probably wouldn't have to sell the farm, right? You probably get LaVine pennies on the dollar. And then if you could convince them to throw in Alex Caruso, now you get Caruso and LaVine for basically half of what it even cost to get DeJounte Murray, because they just need to like get rid of these guys, right? So like if you could do something like that, I just think you'd do it. You know, like I just think you do it and you just take the chance, because now you'd have, again, like you could go and give D'Lo that inflated contract, and you'd have like, let's say 2 firsts, 2 pick swaps in 5 seconds with D'Lo. Like you could build like a literal super team that's just deep, talented, versatile. Like, because you don't have to trade all your picks. Where like even if you trade for DeJounte Murray, it's probably costing you 2 firsts or a first and a pick swap, and then half the players that that are tradable, and then now you're looking at maybe one more guy. Where like I just think this route you could get LaVine, Caruso, and then still have a bunch of assets and things to maybe get some other deals done. Nico, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Didn't you say the Bulls wouldn't trade DeMar because they don't want to help LeBron's legacy? So why would they trade LaVine and Caruso? No, there was a report that said that. I don't believe the report. There was a report that said Chicago doesn't want to help. They don't want to help LeBron because it could ruin Jordan's legacy. I don't buy it, because Chicago was willing to trade LaVine to the Lakers this past trade deadline. So again, I just think it was somebody that reported it that just wanted some attention. There's more to spacing though, besides shooting threes, right? If you have a good coach that understands how to properly position guys on the floor, I think you'd be fine. It depends. Mitchell is a yes. If it's a Trey Young, hell no. If I could get Jared Allen, DeRozan for like a first, maybe 2 firsts, we could give up D'Lo or Reeves. D'Lo walks. I would love that trade. Let's see. How old? Damn, 33. I am 33 years old. Snorlax. Tyler, I'm late, but happy birthday, man. Well, thank you. I appreciate you popping in nonetheless. You're awesome. Josiah will pay for his crimes, facts. I want Mark Waxing. Sitting here watching Kyrie just tear it up just hurts. Terrence, no problem. I appreciate you. Thank you for popping in. Thank you. Can we find a guy that is similar to Laurie Surge in Utah from the Bear trade, going from a role guy to a potential number 1 or number 2 option? Can you? I mean, sure, but is there a way to predict that? No. Right? Because I mean, like even Laurie went to like, he was with the Cavs, and then he was with Chicago, and then like the Cavs, and then wasn't he like back to Chicago again or something? Like I know he's been on like 4 teams, and just looked. But that's the problem. Like you never know until they do, right? Like it's one of those things where you're hoping that they have a surge, or that they just get the right role, the right position, the right team, whatever, and then all of a sudden everything changes, right? Like that's the hope, but there's no way to predict that. Oh no, it was just Chicago, Cleveland, and then Utah. Okay, I thought he went back to Chicago at a stint, but yeah, okay, yeah. So, but point is like you're talking about a guy that it's like he was. I mean, but the thing was too is that he wasn't bad, right? Like he was a guy that was like 15 a game prior, but then he just had this surge into like popularity and stuff. That's why like I've talked about, and I know people want me to make like a video dedicated to it, which I will, but like Kevin Porter Jr., I've talked about him a lot. Talk about a guy that was like a 19 point a game scorer, right? So get him on a vet minimum. Like he could be our Malik Monk. I mean, Malik Monk's another example, right? Like he was a role guy, comes to Lakers to like try to grow his brand, it works, and he gets a bag from Sacramento, right? Like, again, like maybe you get something like that. Do we beat the Nuggets if we have James Borrego or Kenny Atkinson instead of Pockets? I mean, it's possible. I mean, the problem is both those guys are unknowns, right? Like, you don't know if they're any good or not. But let's assume that they're better than Darvin Ham. Do we beat the Nuggets? I mean, that maybe, right? But I think at worst it's a better series, right? If you had a better coach, I think that's a better series. I think I don't think we lose in 5 games. I think we at least win another game, maybe 2. Like that 20-point game, we probably win if you had a better coach. It just has to be a defensive team, not Rui, the 6'8", 230 player who can't rebound. I mean, you got to keep in mind, though, Rui's averaging less rebounds a game because he's playing the 3. He's not playing and he doesn't have the foot speed to get down and track down the basketball and all that stuff, right? He averages like 3 more rebounds a game when he plays the 4. Again, it's Darvin Ham putting guys in different positions. Did you really think you could double cross me? Me? I perfected a double cross. You think we should pick up Jared Allen? I wouldn't hate it. Personally, no. Like, so I made a video about this. Was it on the Lakers show? I think it was the Lakers show channel where, I was like, how should the Lakers go get their center? I just don't think you're going to get a starting center and he's going to start, right? Like, I just think if you get Jared Allen, I don't even think the Lakers will go after Jared Allen. I don't even think they go after Jared Allen. It's just simply on the fact that, like, he's probably not going to start. Like, LeBron needs to play the 4. I think they go get a Valanciunas or a Andre Drummond, or they go trade for, maybe like a Nick Richards or something like that. Somebody that they can bring off the bench and then eventually start. That's kind of where I think that plays out, but we'll see. Time will tell. Low key, I need Caruso and picks if I'm taking LaVine. Yeah. I think you can Spider then take one of the Bulls' bad contracts. So say like Spider, Caruso, Lonzo to trade, Rui AR, Spider, and Balloon D'Lo for the Bulls. How soon do you think they'll hire a new coach? They'll do it before the draft. So I don't know, probably the next week or 2. They're doing they're still in the interview process. I think, like I said it before, I think they already know who they're going to hire. I just think that they're doing their due diligence and going through their process personally. So I think that they hire JJ Redick. I think all this stuff's going to happen and all this stuff's going to get done. And then you're going to hear the announcement that the Lakers signed JJ Redick. How much of a possibility is there that KCP signs with the Lakers again? I don't think it's 0, but I don't think it's high. Like, I'd say like 20%, maybe 30% if I'm being nice. One, I think it depends on if Denver is willing to keep him around. If Denver keeps him around, then he'll stay. If they don't, I think it just depends on how much do the other teams offer him, right? Like, if a team like Orlando offers him like $20 million, I think he takes it. But like, if a team's like, hey, we'll give you $15 million, then I think he might be like, well, I could take $2 million less and go play with the Lakers. I just think it depends on how things play out. But it's one of those things, like, I wouldn't count on it at all. I think it's very low because there's just a lot of things that need to happen. What do you think if Adams is healthy? Should Lakers get him or not? Steven Adams? Like, I wouldn't hate him. Problem is like he's very limited in how you can play him, right? Like, he's not like this super skilled big man. Like, I wouldn't mind him because he's not like expensive, but it just comes down to cost. Like, how much do they want? Free Cooper, a good backup point guard. He never got a real chance. Tore up the G League. Now overseas doing the same thing. Really good score. I mean, I wouldn't mind if they, took a flyer on a guy or 2, right? Like, just go take a flyer. Looks like he made it to the finish line. Good stream and good night. Sam! Dirt. Yeah, pretty sure it's JJ. I do. I like genuinely believe it's JJ. Like, I really do. Like, again, I could be completely wrong. I think they already know who they're signing. And I just think that everything else is just formality. I think everything else is just they're doing their due diligence. They're just trying to make sure like no one blows them away. But I mean, there's reports. Again, they came out with a report, was it yesterday or today, earlier today, whatever it was, where like they think the Lakers think Jason Kidd is the next not Jason Kidd, JJ Redick is the next Pat Riley. Like, I just don't think, like, there's just so much talk and smoke and stuff. I just think he's coming. Is the Cavs owner saying he would trade with Miami before ever dealing with the Lakers true? I mean, again, like, it wasn't like a direct quote. It was just like a report, the typical like, it's not like Dan Gilbert came out and was like, attention everyone. So it wasn't like him saying it himself, but like that's the consensus, which is, again, you always take those reports with a grain of salt. But the person that reported it said something along the lines of like that if they do trade Donovan Mitchell, that they prefer to get like a Jaime Jaquez, Tyler Hero package over anything that the Lakers have, whatever. Again, I think, look, Donovan Mitchell's a long shot regardless. But if Donovan Mitchell says, I only want to go to the Lakers, like, what is Dan Gilbert just going to let him walk for free? And then the Lakers just sign him anyway. And it's like, well, look, dummy, okay, so the Lakers had to wait an extra year because you're an idiot. Like, I just don't, again, if Donovan Mitchell is open to multiple teams, then I just don't think he's a Laker, right? If he's like, hey, here's a list of 5 teams that I'd be okay going to, then I just think one of those other teams will get him, right? I think if the packages are close, he would prefer to send it elsewhere, right? But if Donovan Mitchell's like, hey, look, I'm only going to the Lakers, right? Basically pulls an Anthony Davis and says like, hey, you could trade for me, but I'm leaving in a year. Then I think that the Lakers will land him. Which team would be interested in Lakers trade pieces? These pieces being Reeves, D'Lo if you opt in or out, Rui, Gabe, Jalen Sheffield. I mean, that's the thing. It's just, it depends on who's out there and who we want. Like, a team like, say we were going to go get Dorian Finney-Smith. Like Rui makes a world of sense for the Nets because they don't have like that big burly forward. Team like Chicago might make sense for Rui. Atlanta, if they're really hitting the reset button, Reeves is somebody that they desperately want. I mean, they were trying everything to get Reeves from us last offseason. So, like Reeves, again, it just depends on the team and what their needs and what they want to do. If a team is rebuilding, then that might look different than a team that's like trying to compete now, right? So, the report of Coach K helping the Lakers and their coaching search especially made me believe that JJ is definitely going to be the guy too. Yeah, 100%. It was like, oh, okay, we know what's happening here. What I'm curious about is the supporting coaching staff. I want to see who they'll have support him. Exactly. I'm with you 100%. I am all for JJ Redick. I mean, I've been talking about it nonstop for the last like month or whatever. Like, I actually prefer JJ Redick because, again, I just think everybody's a gamble. Everybody that's available right now are all gambles. I think JJ Redick just gives you the best upside, right? Like, if he works, I think now you got your head coach for the next 20 years. Like, I think you're just in good shape. But I've kept saying over and over and over again, it depends on the staff that's around him. You got to put complementary pieces, right? So, whatever. You bring in JJ Redick, you bring in Terry Stotts to be his backup or be his assistant. So that way you have that guy that can kind of help him, through the process of everything. And then, just continue down the ladder, right? Like, bring back Phil Handy, add in maybe a better defensive-minded coach, something like that, and then now you're off to the races, personally. But anyway, I got to the end of the stream. I get to the end of the chat. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, everybody. Seriously, thank you so much for how much? Wait, hold on, real quick. How far are we from? I want to make sure okay, still $5 away from another shot. All right, never mind. I was gonna say, am I close? Did I miss? I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss a shot or anything like that, but made it to the end of the stream. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Everybody that supported me and just hung out with me. Seriously, thank you. I appreciate you. Hopefully there's some build up. Hopefully we get a coach sooner rather than later. We're getting close to, starting to evaluate the draft picks and stuff. I'll definitely get through the draft picks, start breaking some of them down. Problem is the 17th pick, I just don't believe the Lakers are going to keep. So it's like I can make a bunch of videos about the 17th pick. I just don't think they're going to draft anybody there. But I don't know, maybe just for content. Maybe we'll talk about some stuff, explore some stuff. But anyway, you guys are awesome. On the way out, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thank you, everyone, for the super chat. Seriously, helps me a ton. You guys had me take, especially at the very beginning, had me taking a bunch of shots. I'm very thankful. Appreciate you guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.